the job sites may be a little bit daunting to you to start with. They're big, they're busy, they're full of people, and you know, there's lots going on there. To the newcomer, it can be as confusing as walking into a market in Marrakesh. You know, there's so much going on that if you don't know what you're doing, you can end up making a few very, very simple mistakes that at the end of the day could potentially cost you jobs. So the first thing you need to do is create a profile that demonstrates your skills and qualifications. This needs to be professionally written, good grammar, good spelling, good punctuation. It's selling you. You know, if it's poor and shoddy, then it's going to damage your chances of getting work. Don't be afraid to tell people how good you are in this, but don't be really salesy and hypey. You know, be factual, be precise. Tell people your skills, tell people your qualifications. If the job site that you're registering for has the ability to take skill tests, which some of them do, like Elance, then what you need to do is go and take those skill tests. And if you do so, what that will do is show potential employers that you have the skills you say you do. Make sure you show samples of your work. If you haven't got any samples, stop now and create some. If you haven't got samples, no one is going to employ you. You're going to find it so difficult to get there. So either go to somewhere like Digital Point or the Warriors Forum and get some work, or just create some for the hell of it. You know, create a few mini site templates if you're a graphics design artist. Create some ebook covers. Write some articles on lots of different subjects. You know, get some samples together to show people that you can do what you say you can do. They will look at that, and they will look at the samples more than perhaps they will look at your profile. If the samples are good, then you'll get hired. I know that when I hire a graphics design artist, you know, they'll have a profile, and they may say, I've got a bachelor's degree, I'm trained by Adobe in Photoshop, and blah 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 blah. Do you know what? I don't care. What I want to see is samples. Can they produce good quality graphics? And I ignore everything and go straight to their portfolio page. And if they haven't got a portfolio page, they don't get hired. You know, I don't want to hire somebody that I can't see what they can do. And I go to the portfolio page and I look through. And if the graphics look good, and I spend my time here, I will give them work. If it doesn't look good, they won't get work. And I know I'm not the only person that employs in this manner. If you have some previous clients that you can provide details of, you can say, well, I designed this chap's website, go and have a look. Then you know you can provide that. But obviously you have to respect client confidentiality. So don't give out client details if your clients don't want you to. Always ask their permission first. Make sure you tell people how good you are. Don't be coy and sit there and go, oh no, I'm really not very good. Because guess what? You won't get any work. You got to stand up and say to people, yeah, I am good. Look at this. I've done this. And you'll get work from it. You've just got to take that attitude, because if you don't, you are going to struggle. Another thing I found actually quite helpful, peculiarly enough, is put your location on there. Quite often people like to hire people from their local area or their country or their state or whatever it might be. If you haven't got a location on there, people don't know. People are also often looking for specific workers from specific areas. I want an Indian, for example, because I'm trying to work in the Indian market. I want a Russian because I want to get into the Russian market. I want a native English speaker because I want some high quality articles. Things like that. List your location. It can often get you work. And don't be afraid to state your prices. It will clear out the tire kickers. You know, you're not going to get bothered. If you're charging $10 an article, that chap over there that only willing to pay $2, he's not going to bother you, is he? You know, he's going to look at your prices and go, oh, I'm not going to even ask him. He's too expensive. So instantly, you're reducing the amount of work, you know, noise, if you like, that you have to deal with in order to find work. Now, the other advantage to listening to it is a lot of savvy marketers know how much jobs are worth. Now, if I'm looking for an article writer, I will just quickly scroll through and I'll look at sort of the prices people state per article. And if I see someone saying, well, I'll do it for $2 or $3, instantly to me that's rubbish, no good. I don't want a scraped article. I don't want an article that I want to rewrite. I want good quality. When I start seeing people charging $15, I'll look at that and think, oh, that's a bit too much for me. That's a bit expensive. They must be a superstar. And I'll probably file them away to look at later on because I want to see what they offer. How do they charge $15? But if I see someone that charges sort of 7 to 10, which is what I'm willing to pay and it's worth to me, then I'll look at them. And of course, if you haven't got your price there, then chances are that someone like me, and there's quite a few of us, will not notice you and skip you by. So don't be afraid to put your price on there. And also include a photo and a phone number. People like to know the people they're working with. So, I want to know what you look like. Do you have the sort of face that I can work with? People make those sort of assumptions, Have a photo that's a relaxed photo, but not too relaxed. You don't want to be out on the town, drunk with your friends. You want to be relaxed, relatively smartly dressed and looking good. If the photo's too stuffy, too well dressed, then that puts people off. But nice sort of median is what you want to achieve. And what you'll find is you quite often get people coming to you because they've seen what you look like, and people like to work with people they know. And if they see a photo of you, they think they know you, which means they're more likely to work with you. Also, include your phone number. Make sure it has an answering machine that picks up between sort of 6 and 8 rings, so people aren't waiting for too long if they phone. Some of the job sites will actually interview you over the phone, so be prepared for that. If you haven't got an answering machine on the phone, put one on there. Put a message on it saying that you get back to people as soon as possible, leave their number, etc., etc., and the job that they're phoning about, and call them back. And call them back quickly at sociable times. If they're in a different time zone, you don't want to be calling them at 3 in the morning, because guess what? That's not going to make you popular. Make sure you're aware of where in the world they are, and perhaps put on your message, say, thank you very much for your call. I do apologise I can't get to the phone right now. Please leave me a message telling me your phone number, the job you're calling about, and the best time for me to call you back in your local time. And that way, you will call them back and not wake somebody up in the middle of the night, which isn't going to make you friends. Now, when you start off on a job site, you may have to bid low on jobs in order to get them and get some feedback quickly. Now, by bidding low, you can quite often get a lot of work very quickly, which means you can build up your feedback, your reputation, and then you can quickly put your prices up. Now, you may find that perhaps it's only 1 in 20 jobs that you actually get. So, bid for lots of jobs. If it's 1 in 20 you get, and you bid for 3 jobs a month, it might be months before you get any work. So, bid for 20 jobs a day. Go for as many as you can in order to get as much work in. You can always turn it down and say, well, actually, I'm a bit busy at the moment. I'm overloaded with work. I could do it in a week, if that's okay. And quite often they'll turn around and go, yeah, no problems, a week's fine. And you've got, you're building up your job book for future weeks as well. But always be professional. People may leave you comments that you perceive as being negative and derogatory. Don't rise to the bait, because it will look bad. It will be there forever on the site. Always be professional, and always think that your next client could be reading what you're writing. So be aware that everything you do, they could find. It's not unheard of, by the way, nowadays. I don't know if you're aware of this. Is a lot of companies, when they hire somebody, they put their name into Google and just see what comes up. And there's been some reported cases of people who have actually lost their jobs, or lost their job offers, I should say, because of what was found on Google. So always be professional and know that your next employer could be reading what you're writing. When you're bidding for a job, write on it what you're going to bring to the project, when you can deliver it, and similar jobs that you've done. What skills have you got that are unique that will help you give that potential employee the maximum benefit? Yeah, I've seen people that will bid for the job and go, yeah, I'll have a go, or I'm in, or I'll bid. That does nothing. You want a professional bid that says, my name is so and so. I've been writing articles for 15 years. I've been published in this paper, that paper, this magazine, online, etc., etc., etc. I'm a native English speaker. I'm highly professional. I can produce very high quality articles very quickly that are in-depth research. Delivery time depends upon the amount of research required for the articles, but typically each article takes no more than half an hour to write. So your 10 articles will take me no more than 5 hours to deliver. So I can expect to turn them around within 24. I can expect to turn around your 10 articles within 24 hours. Yeah, obviously depending on workload. So, write something there that's professional, that tells them about you, and basically gives them a reason to hire you. And if you do that, you'll instantly be in the top 5% of people that are in the running for getting that job. So, go for it. You're going to get some good results. Be aware that you're going to get rejected. You may get a lot of rejection, but don't take it personally. This is business. They're after the best deal, they're after high quality, and for whatever reason, at that time, it may not be you. Just move on to the next project. Keep bidding, keep bidding, keep bidding. You never know, the project might fall through and they'll come back to you and say, look, it didn't work out with this other person, can you take over? That's happened. So, if you get rejected, don't get nasty. Just say, well, thank you very much, it was a pleasure bidding. Please consider me for any future work. And you'll get results from that. That sort of professional approach will make you stand out. And one of the real benefits is once you've done work direct for somebody via a job site, you can either work for them directly outside of the job site, or you can work with them directly through the job site. Some people like to work directly through the job site because it gives them the security, the accountability and the traceability. So, be aware that some people will want to do that still, which is fine. Let them do it. Makes them feel safe and secure, and you're still getting the work. So be aware of that. But quite often you will get more work, and people will post a job and invite you to bid privately. They may have 10 authors, for example, on that site, and then invite just those 10 authors to bid on it, and you'll be one of that elite. So there's always that opportunity for you in the future. The job sites are a good source of income if they're used properly. Some of them, like Elance, makes a massive amount of money every year. There's people that are making millions on there, and if you work smart and you work well, there is no reason why you can't be one of those.